I will play it forward because I feel it's a very important clip. Very, very important. So we're going to play it forward. This is Mutabaruka. We want to present to you a wholesome kind of level of consciousness right now. So subscribe and tell your friend them. This is Mutabaruka.
Do you want to know what is a scam? A scam is having the Bible translated into Swahili, Yoruba, Igbo, Zulu, and every other African language, but having 0 scientific books translated into a single African language. That is a conspiracy. That is a trap, and that's a scam. Someone who can be scammed with the same trick over and over again for decades upon decades is considered a fool, and their gullibility and lack of critical thinking make them willing participants in their own destruction. I have walked into different libraries, and I have seen university science books translated into Chinese, Russian, Portuguese, Arabic, and so forth. I have seen Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill translated into French. I have seen the Japanese version of A Man's Search for Meaning. I have seen the Spanish version of Alchemist. I have seen the Arabic version of The Art of War. All these books, I have seen them in various languages, but none in any African language. An African child is sent to Arabic school just to learn Arabic, so that he can read the word of her supposed creator, while the Arab prays and learn in their own language. African child learns and pray in other languages. You will find churches in Africa where the English became preacher would have a native translator next to them doing the translation. Here's where the scam comes. And you will never find a school in Africa where the teacher will have a translator next to them to translate chemistry, physics, mathematics, geography, economics to the students. I have seen many science books translate into various languages, but none in any African language. The Chinese are taught mathematics in Chinese. The Japanese are taught engineering in Japanese. They are all taught finance, chemistry, astrophysics, accounting, medicine, geology, government in their languages. The only book that Africans have had in their languages is the Bible and Quran. The only time Africans have something translated them to in their language is in a church and mosque. The black African wretched of the earth is the only member of the human race who has been brainwashed to think that his ancestors bequeathed him with a curse that has prevented home from attaining his goal and desires. Almost every misfortune he encounters on earth is the fault of some ancestors who must be bound and cast in the fire of the Holy Ghost. The white people don't have terrible ancestors. The Arab that enslaved Africans for 700 years don't have wicked ancestors. No member of human's race has wicked ancestors who have done terrible things. No, it's only the black Africans. Black Africans are the only member of human race that will sit down, write a movie script to mock or belittle his or her heritage, In Western world, Xmas is the biggest festival. Christmas stemmed from both the Roman paganism and Roman cultures. The biggest festival in Arab world is Eid al-Fitr. The biggest festival in Israel is Pesach. The biggest festival in China is Spring Festival. Festival of Light is the biggest festival in India. Black people are probably the only human species on planet Earth that helps other races celebrate their own festivals, but nobody celebrates theirs with them. They generally believe their own ways are inferior. Therefore, it's hard for them to evolve the beautiful things their ancestors left. He belittled the ancestors who gave him life. The continent is the only continent where Christianity and Islam concept of a God is shared equally. Even though both preach peace and love, yet there is no peace and love. When an African man is not praying to a foreign God, he will be treating himself in a foreign hospital, or visiting another man's country for religious purposes, or praying to his own creator in Arabic. He calls another man's history holy book, just because they told him to ask him, what is holy about the book? It's an abomination for him to see the world through his own culture. Slaves weren't allowed to do that. He steals money from his land to keep in a foreign land. His God and his country was created for him. No wonder nobody respects him. The black man is roaming around the world like a tortoise without a shell. He has no backbone, zero identity. No one respect him. He is lynched in Malaysia, incarcerated in Cambodia. He is shot like a dog in the streets of America. Not until we all free our minds from mental slavery, we will be wretched of the world.
Yes, man. What a message. What a message. If you don't hear nothing else in the night, I want that soak in. There. If I don't do nothing else for the night, I want that soak in. What a message. Serious thing. I wonder if you really listen to what him I say. I wonder if you, I wonder if you really listen to what the man I say, Rasta. Because I may listen to it and I may play it. I may listen to it. I may listen to it before, over. That me know say I want to play it. What a message. Who go and stand up? Who go and stand up and declare, say, the system is a fraud? That we learn other people things in their language, but we don't know our things because we don't know our language. We learn about them God in their language. But we don't know, not, as a matter of fact, when we hear about our things, we start calling it demon thing. Even black people on here, so, who claim to them conscious. They hear about certain Mayanism, voodooism, Mobi and all them something there. Them demonize it. You know, see it? Because everybody hold on upon Christianity. When Christianity was given to us forcefully, and then we start to accept it freely. Islam was given to us forcefully, and then we start to accept it just like that. Years, it continue. Who's going to stop it? You can't stop it. But you can't go stop it, you can't stop it. Because you don't know what is what and what is not. You don't know what is you and what is them. You know what is them, but you don't know what is you. Wow. And that's right there.
You are listening to the Black Radar YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button and keep listening.
Christianity and Islam by nature, they are bullies of African culture. It is expressed in their intolerance of other people who believe differently from who they are. So here's a simple example. If a Muslim walks into this village, the first object is to build a mosque and make everyone in that village a Muslim. It changes your timetable of waking up. You wake up at 5, changes your fashion, how you want, changes the way you bury your loved ones. Now you must do everything according to Islamic law. The same thing is true with Christianity. Christianity walks into a space, first thing they want to do, as a Zulu, as a Xhosa, you take off your shirt and put on your beautiful beads. Hebrew beads, by the way, which are Jewish. You put on your Hebrew gear, which is traditional, and you walk up to church. Christianity will look at you, though now there's a bit of tolerance. But the first glance is unacceptable. Because the God that Christianity has does not have tolerance for culture. Does not. Rather, I would rather take off that thing, put on your shirt, put a tie on you, put a jacket, polish your shoes, and say, now you look nice. Because apparently you must become European first before you can become Christian. In order for God to accept you, He cannot accept you in your authenticity. He needs first to take you through the culture of the dominant culture, which is the colonial culture, before you can actually become an acceptable Christian. An intelligent conversation needs to take place where we say, is everything that we are doing in the Christian church Christian? Or some of the things, norms, and rituals that we are performing are actually European culture, but now they've been couched and packaged as Christianity. The way we sing, for example, the way we dress, for example, the way we eat, for example, the way we celebrate our things, our holidays, our festivals, our Passovers, and etc. Are these things, Easters, are these things biblical? Christmases.
You've mentioned a lot of...
Is a serious thing. And this is what we have been saying for years. I just don't understand how the people them can't get it. Check all the things them where you truly celebrate and see if any of them come from Africa. Check all the things them where black people celebrate in the Western world and see if it come from Africa. All I come from Europe or in what them call Asia Minor, around in Turkey and Syria and all them places there. Christianity developed in Turkey, you know, Syria and all them places. Most of the history of Europe and how it become great is because the European, like the Romans them and the Greeks, them come out of Europe and go in places like Turkey and Syria and Egypt and control the whole place, especially the Romans them, and then them create them religious practice and belief to make we believe says all an African thing too. We don't understand how it come about through colonialism of the African space. Did you know that Turkey is in 2 continents? Turkey is in 2 continents. Part of it in Europe and part of it in Africa. Or Asia, I should have said. I get confused. But yeah. When we're at Turkey, we go across, we take a boat, and them say we'll go over the European side. They might go over the European side, you know. So when you go over that side, you know, long in a where they saw in Asia, because the Syrian them border with it. Syria border with it, you know. And then Africa, which is Egypt, over the other side. So we are talking about Asia, we are talking about Europe. And the power where Europeans wheel inside of Turkey. From even them time there, them used to call it Constantinople. Constantine, Emperor of Rome. Come manipulate and control this so. And then we say, them go into Egypt. Control up Egypt. Take away all of the things them out of Egypt, carry go into Greece and Rome. Make laws that govern the whole other part of the world. If you look on even how the Bible write in the New Testament, most of them places where in the Bible where you see Paul write letter. Most of them are them in Africa. Asia them there. Asia. Most of them are in Europe. You know, when you hear Paul write to the Corinthians and the Ephesians and the Galatians and all them places, and in Africa there. But them shape a religion and move with the culture of the people them out of it. And left us with the religion. And when it reaches us, them give you back for them culture. We don't have nothing to do with the religion. Not at all to do with the religion. Them give you back for them culture. So now we are live in the white man's world. That is where we are living at, the white man's world. Terrible thing. Terrible thing. Because we can't claim our space in a two continent. But we was manipulated by two continents. We are talking about America and Europe. And it's the same thing them do when them go in at Turkey. Them do the same thing. And then we end up realize, but this place is also in a two continents. How did they reach there? And them still there. Them still there. Because look how them go to India. They have two countries now. One time it was one country, it's two. And the same people them. One name Pakistan, that's Pakistan, and one name Indian. Europeans do that. Them go into Palestine and divide up the land. England, Britain, give them the land, 1948. And them still there. And the more the longer them say, the more them a push out the people them off of the land. Where them come see people pan. Them come see people pan it. The center of all of that is what we call power. And power corrupt. Absolute power corrupt. Absolutely. It's weird that we know all of these things. And sometimes I feel powerless. And we know exactly what the man is. Like a man have under something where you know where you're going around, you know, but you don't feel no pain. Even though you know, say, he might inflict pain upon you. He might inflict pain upon you, know, but him inject you. Him inject you. And you know say something that hurt you, that's so, but you don't feel the hurt. But you know say it's supposed to hurt you. But you make it so that you just feel comfortable with the hurt. To the point where you start to like him. After him take away your family and rape your mother, your father, everybody rape. You start to love him. Instead of come to him and say, what the hell you think going to happen? You think it's going to happen again? What you doing? We continue and make them culture devour we.
The informative information presented in this video is motivational and is positively aimed at inspiring, educating and entertaining the viewers with the cutting edge of critical reasoning. If you enjoy the contents on the Black Radar YouTube channel, please consider subscribing to show your support.